I am Sarah. I run a beauty salon business, Radiance Private Limited, that is GST registered. Some of you may think that the documents that you need to keep to support your input tax claims are confusing. Let me now share some tips with you. This month, I ordered some facial cream from a local supplier who issued this tax invoice. I can't use this invoice to claim the input tax. Why? This tax invoice is not valid because 1. It does not show my supplier's GST registration number, my business's name and address, and the GST amount. 2. Also, the value of sales and the GST have not been converted into Singapore dollars. As this purchase is more than $1,000, inclusive of GST, we need to ask the supplier to issue a valid tax invoice that has these details. 1. The words tax invoice. 2. The supplier's name, address, and GST registration number. 3. The invoice number and issue date. 4. The customer's name and address. 5. The description of the goods and services. 6. The GST rate. 7. The total amount payable excluding GST. 8. The GST amount, and 9. The total amount payable including GST. If the local purchases are negotiated in foreign currencies, our suppliers have to convert these items on the tax invoice into Singapore dollars. 1. The total amount payable excluding GST. 2. The total GST payable, and 3. The total amount payable including GST. We can only claim input tax on the Singapore dollar equivalent of the GST incurred as stated in the supplier's invoices. This applies even if we have recorded the Singapore dollar value of the purchases in our accounts at a different exchange rate. I also bought some stationery for my office this month. We can use a simplified tax invoice to support our input tax claims for this purchase because the total amount payable, including GST, does not exceed $1,000. A simplified tax invoice does not need to show these details. 1. The words tax invoice. 2. The customer's name and address. 3. A breakdown of the prices. 4. A separate GST amount. However, the words price payable inclusive of GST must still be shown on the simplified tax invoice. I am thinking of importing some shampoo from Europe and would like to claim the import GST incurred. First, if we take up an import permit with Singapore Customs, our company's name must be stated as the importer in the import permit. We can claim the input tax based on the Singapore dollar amount shown in the import permit. Second, if we import the goods via these 3 courier or air express shipment companies, we can use the tax invoice issued by them to support our input tax claims instead of using the import permit. For more information, please refer to the IRAS website.